to nod off, however comfortable, commentator John Moxley.
24-year-old Pat Hurd is Jack Charlton's first signing for Newcastle United, hence the attention there of the photographers. Hurd comes from Charlton's old club Sheffield Wednesday, for whom 2 seasons ago he played in the FA Cup semi-final and also scored here at St James's Park. Hurd makes his Newcastle debut on the left side of midfield, with David McCreary switching to a central role. Otherwise, it's the side that beat Bradford in the Milk Cup and which drew 5-5 at QPR last week when number 9 Chris Waddle scored a hat-trick. Well, the man he has to beat today is 31-year-old Tom McAllister, who has excelled himself in the West Ham goal while he's been deputising for Phil Parkes. The Hammers still have Alan Devonshire and Dave Swindlehurst on the injured list, and Alan Dickens failed a late fitness test on a hamstring. So the only change from the team which drew at Bristol on Tuesday is the return of Bobby Barnes. And some loyal West Ham supporters have made a 600-mile round trip this weekend to Tyneside. The referee this afternoon is David Allison from Lancaster. So West Ham in the claret and blue, playing from left to right in the first half on a bright, sunny afternoon here in the northeast. That was Saunders up well for Newcastle. Beardsley. Tackle was by Jeff Pike, and it's a foul. St James's Park pitch looking in very good condition as Roeder takes the kick and looks for Waddle. And he got away from Stewart, and Beardsley's coming in here, and here's the newcomer Pat Hurd with the chip, and it's dangerous for MacDonald on the far post, who was beaten by Steve Walford. Good start for Pat Hurd, beautiful chip. Cut out the keeper, but Steve Walford, the left back, made a good clearance. Corner to Newcastle. Saunders is up there, and so is Anderson. And McAllister came well, and off the line by Goddard, I think, and volleyed away by Hurd. Well, West Ham, with players on the line to block the shot from the corner, and Goddard found himself in the right place to cover for the goalkeeper. Good challenge. No. Billy Bonds, the player, down. David McCreary is penalised. Here's Alvin Martin. Goddard. And the referee again blows up. McCreary protests once more, but it's a free kick to West Ham. Gale and Martin are both forward. Stewart to take it. And Martin came in with a very good header. Alvin Martin is captain of West Ham this season. Went forward for that free kick from Ray Stewart and met it firmly. A header just going over. Fans well packed at that Gallowgate end of the ground, where the Newcastle United faithful are always gathered. Cottee. And that was MacDonald coming into the back of Barnes, and the referee will have a word. Walford forward. Cottee. Back to Gale. Newcastle coming out looking for an offside, and they haven't got it. Paul Allen, first touch, pulled it well back, and somehow Newcastle escaped. But 2 points about that. They went for an offside, came streaming out, and the flag stayed down. And if Paul Allen had possibly managed to control it rather better first time, it was a great chance. As it was, he pulled it back, and defenders were on hand. Here's Beardsley. Well, Ray Stewart was the defender. Beardsley looks for a corner at worst. He's also looking for a free kick at best for obstruction. And that's what it's going to be. And Tom McAllister not sure. And MacDonald hit it, and Stewart in the way. Well, MacDonald there with the shot, but West Ham, for the moment, just getting feet and bodies in the way as Newcastle force another corner. And Stewart again with the header. Gale. MacDonald. Oh, it's a fair ball, that is. Waddle. Offside on the return. The flag on my side is up. The referee hasn't seen it. And if this goes in, MacDonald closing in with Martin, but that's got to be played right back. There was an offside flag some time before. Headed on by Pike and a touch by Cottee. And Goddard turned them all. Beardsley, McCreary. This is Wharton. Beardsley's made the run across. What a... The line. 5, 7. Perfect move. Beardsley collected Roeder's long clearance and just flicked the ball on for Waddle, who was level with the last defender, which means he's offside. Bonds let it run. Cottee, number 9. Anderson. Newcastle back four has played well in the first half up to now, bearing in mind how many goals they've been letting in. Malcolm Brown now in the attack. There's not many up with him, so he's going alone. Support now from MacDonald. That's too long. And it gives Bobby Barnes the chance to make yards of ground here for West Ham. Now Gale. And Goddard. That's a promising run. Oh, it came back off into Cottee. Goddard! No, the flag's up. And that may well have been for hands. Goddard actually got a ricochet there. And it fell on to Cottee, back to Goddard to finish, but the referee had already signalled that there was a free kick. Pushing by Bonds. This is Saunders. Another good ball from Tony Gale, out to Cottee. West Ham need players forward here. Pike. Walford. Barnes. Impetuous challenge by Brown, but play on, says the referee. Walford's cross, headed away by Roeder. On the chest of Waddle, McDonald too hurried. Waddle won it back. And he's got two to his left, and there's promise here. Beardsley, number 10. Brilliant goal! Peter Beardsley! There was promise there the moment Chris Waddle got the ball. You had the feeling there was something on. He had two to his left, he gave it to Beardsley, who had the confidence to go on in possession, come inside and finish with a good right foot shot. The two players who many fans here felt would replace Kevin Keegan to some degree, Waddle and Beardsley, combined to produce the game's opening goal just before half-time. Cottee now for West Ham. And the crowd at the Gallowgate end rising to applaud Chris Waddle and Peter Beardsley. Really fine goal by Newcastle. Came almost out of nothing, but how well made and well taken. Stewart, the player, fouled in stoppage time at the end of the first half. And the Newcastle fans well pleased with a delightful goal by Peter Beardsley 2 minutes before half-time, made by Chris Waddle. And West Ham, for whom most things revolved around Paul Goddard, he kicked one off the line early on, had one disallowed just before Newcastle scored. West Ham's resistance was broken right at the end of the half, but there was plenty of incident, and Newcastle go in with a 1-0 lead. So Newcastle start the second half, playing now towards the Gallowgate end, and here's McCreary. Hurd. Down the left is Saunders, and Bonds in the way. Newcastle's matches have certainly produced some goals this season, 33 in all in 7 league games between themselves and the opposition, 34 in 8 if you include today. Many people wondered how the strikers would fare in the First Division without Kevin Keegan. Well, Beardsley may have gone some way towards supplying the answer. West Ham, though, have got rather more steel these days than they used to have of old. And we'll see what they can do in the second half. Alvin Martin. And onside, it's Goddard. And Cottee with the shot. Off the line by Roeder. Well, Goddard was through. Kevin Carr came a long way out. Obviously didn't use his hands, according to the referee. It came back. Then the shot. And Roeder on the line. Between them, Goddard and Cottee unable to take advantage. Donald. That was played beautifully by Waddle for Brown. McDonald is in the centre, and McAllister just got his hands to it. It evaded McDonald by a whisker. That cross from Malcolm Brown. Here's Goddard. And Wharton. What a good ball. MacDonald now, number 7. Waddle's making his way to the near post. There he is! And Newcastle so close to going 2 up on 2 occasions in a matter of less than a minute. MacDonald this time the provider, and Waddle coming in put it just wide. Here's Stewart. Goddard's turn. And he's got it back. And here's Allen with a chance. Oh, didn't he take it well? That's a fine goal by Paul Allen for West Ham. And no wonder he looks so pleased. That's the first goal that little Paul has scored in a league match for nearly 4 years. The left flank of the Newcastle defence going missing a bit, but a very good shot from Paul Allen. And you'd need to go back to December 1980 to find a league goal from Paul Allen. It was against Orient, and today he scores against Newcastle and brings West Ham back into the match after 55 minutes. Here's Saunders. MacDonald climbing! In by Barnes, here's Pike. Cotty's through the centre, and he got away from Roeder there, did Cotty, but didn't get a good cross in. Opportunity there for West Ham. So the match finally balanced now, just about halfway through the second half. Newcastle 1, West Ham 1. Glenn Roeder for Newcastle. To Malcolm Brown. Came off Barnes to Bonds. Beardsley. That was good. That was very good by Beardsley. Hurd is coming in. Here's MacDonald. And MacDonald from Beardsley's excellent approach work could so easily have put Newcastle back in front. Beardsley's cross. Hurd was nearly there. MacDonald was wide. Through the legs of Beardsley by Barnes. Some of the individual skill in this match at pace has been of a very high order. Allen to Stewart. Typical West Ham, they keep coming forward. Goddard on again to Allen, brilliantly done. Was he fouled? No, says the referee. Newcastle had their hearts in their mouths. The challenge by Glenn Roeder on Paul Allen, very near the goal line, was adjudged to be fair. But Allen and the West Ham players looked long and hard at the referee. Walford. Nearly 30,000 people were well entertained here. Newcastle supporters may have been disappointed with the result. Paul Allen deprived them of a victory with a very good goal early in the second half. But whatever people say about football being played at 100 miles an hour, and this was very fast, there was plenty of skill and incident. How would Newcastle fare without Keegan, people said, and how would West Ham fare without Brooking? Well, my view is, having seen them play today, there's plenty of talent left at both clubs for them to provide both entertainment and satisfactory results in the First Division. on the day, the points evenly and excitingly shared.